Hello, 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 you sexy, sexy ladies. Today's topic, this week's topic on Lady Secrets is fraud and white-collar crime. So we want you to write in or to call in all of your lady secrets about, embezzlement, about stolen identities, about stealing or shoplifting. We've all done it. Or, the ultimate dine and dash story. I don't know if people do that anymore. You shouldn't be doing that. But write in your secrets at theladysecrets.com, or you can call us and leave us a little voicemail at 1-844-SEXY-LADY. That's 1-844-SEXY-LADY, and nobody will know it's you.
This episode of LadyGang is brought to you by the all-new Hyundai TUCSON, the SUV reimagined from the inside out. Learn more at Hyundai.com.
Welcome to the LadyGang. You're about to listen to our podcast, but there is so much more our community has to offer. Follow us at the LadyGang, join our secret Facebook group, shop our clothing line, books, and find out when we're going to be in your city at theladygang.com. We're so excited you're here. Enjoy the show.
Well, what is this?
Welcome to the Lady Gang.
That's amazing. Say that again.
The Lady Gang.
Things are about to change around here.
Each week, we catch up with Hollywood's hottest girl posse, Kelty Knight, Becca Tobin, and Jack Vanek.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Lady Gang. I am Becca Tobin here with Jack Vanek and Kelty Knight, and I am very excited. We have a repeat offender on the podcast today.
I know. There are not that many people that we have had on twice.
Nope. And she is a beaut. Love her, love her, love her. Okay, but before we get to that, it's time for...
Good week.
Yes, it is.
Bad week. Oh, no.
Who wants to go first? I'm pulling up my...
I'll go.
Okay,
list of crimes.
My list of fails.
Like, what am I going to talk about today? So my good week, I don't know if you guys remember, this is probably months ago during COVID times, I would sit out on my balcony and I would kind of watch the world go by. There's a street that's right outside my apartment complex. And I would always see this really, really old man.
Don't tell me he's
running
not with us.
So every day at like 5:45, I would see him in the summer when it was still light out. I'd see him. And by run, I mean, he was like going so slow, but he was so cute. And he brought me so much joy because I'm like, this guy's out there. He's getting his exercise. He's really doing it. And then I didn't see him for a while, for like months. But then I was walking and I saw him in the gym. And he was on the treadmill doing his little walk. He's just changed his location, but I was very disturbed. Because I'm like, if this guy's gone, he's the only thing that brings me joy in this past year.
He's getting it. You know, first of all, I'm very happy.
The only thing that brought you joy?
Honestly, one of the only things that brought me joy in 2020.
Not us. We didn't bring you any layers of joy.
Definitely not us. But this brings me to a thought that I had. Like, as we're getting into our middle age, sort of, not really. Who even knows what middle age is anymore? But like, how do you keep it up your mojo to get yourself out there and like exercising at that age? I feel like I'm going to just be like Wally, where past the point of it being capable of being attractive, I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to motivate me to get off my ass.
I know. Well, so my parents, the good thing that happened in COVID for my parents is they started walking because my mom, they'd exercise sometimes, but nothing that was consistent. Right. But with COVID, they do daily walks and they're still doing their daily walks, even though they've gone back to work, and they're in better shape than I am. I'm like, how are you guys?
I guarantee your parents
hiking?
have a crazy sex life.
Kelty.
I'm just saying.
Thinking about that. But they're like, we went hiking in the Grand Canyon and they're like straight up hiking. I don't know. But I guess you just got to get in a little routine and then just do something like walking. That's nice. That's not intimidating. Walk test.
My mom does bar classes like a maniac, so I don't know what's motivating her.
My mom does the senior classes on Obey.
Cute.
Oh, cute. I didn't know they had senior classes.
Yeah, they're really adorable.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Very cute.
In the chair. So cute.
Okay, so my bad week is one of the perks about having a boyfriend is being able to like steal their sweatshirts because they're like big and comfy and, you know, whatever. So somehow now me dating Jared has kind of flipped where he is now stealing all of my clothes because I like an XL sweatshirt. I like an XL sweater. So everything that I get that's not a tiny little crop top is now somehow our shared wardrobe that Jared is taking for the majority of the time.
Well, that's what happens when you order XL merchandise from the LadyGang, Jack.
I know. And he's like, this pink sweatshirt. Yes, it's mine now because it's my size. I'm like,
I'm into it.
Super tight. But
I think it's really cute that he does that.
It is cute.
He loves it. And it's one of those things when it's not yours, you want it more. It's like how I always want other people's food. I'm like,
this is your only child showing. You did not have to share clothes with a sibling, and now your karma is getting you, and now it's making you share with your boyfriend.
I know. And it's like, you know what? We are starting to look alike. We're that couple because our hair is growing out at the same length, and now we're just dressing in the same clothes. So we're pretty much morphing into one person.
Good for you.
Thanks.
I will only accept it if when he goes on tour this summer, are they still doing like that thing where they all wear white and you have to wear all white too?
Yes. I'll be like, I'm part of the band too.
You're like, here's my white vest. I'm ready.
Yes. All right. Who's next?
I'll go next. So I was home in Atlanta a couple weeks ago, and my dad told me when I was home that my sister and I needed to go to the bank to put our name on the safety deposit box. Because I guess during COVID, he was like, what happens if I die?
I know. Parents got morbid. Yeah.
Weird stuff. So, you know, we had to go there with our IDs and, you know, in person. So he had said to me beforehand that his bank, the girl, I don't know if she's called a banker or what her position is. I'm so like ignorant on what positions are called at banks. She works at the bank and she's his person. Okay. Her name is Mallory. And he's like, she loves the LadyGang. And I'm like, okay. I mean, my dad is the sort of person where he'll tell people like, have you heard of the LadyGang? My daughter's lit. And then polite people will say, I love it. Or cool. I've
just trying to appease him.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, she probably doesn't love the LadyGang. So he was like, bring her some merch and bring her a book and bring her all this stuff. And I'm like, first of all, I'm going to gauge how big of a fan she is because I'm not going to show up with something and be so presumptuous to assume that she likes the LadyGang. And then she's going to tell people how fucking weird I am and whatever. So we go. Mallory is adorable. She's in her I would say mid to late 20s. She's engaged. She's getting married soon. She is in fact a LadyGang listener. She's great. And I just love meeting girls out in the world. My dad was right. Thank God. So that was my good week. And afterwards I ended up sending her merch because she actually was, you know, a LadyGang
You are
listener.
going to be a creep. Yes.
Dad was right.
Here's the bad week also comes, it happened at the bank. So we're sitting there and my sister is older. She's been on here before, Jessica. She's 4 years older. She went to law school. She's a partner at a law firm. She's like the academic sister. So Mallory's sitting there and she's writing out our paperwork and she's like, oh yeah, your dad told me all about you guys. And my sister's like, I'm sure he didn't mention me because obviously I'm his favorite. And Mallory goes, no. He said to me, no, Jessica, she's my smart daughter.
Oh, I mean, is he wrong?
He's not wrong, but he could have said my smarter daughter, my well-educated
intellectual daughter,
but
my professional daughter,
anything other. That's my smart daughter. So I may be his favorite, but he doesn't think I'm that smart. So it's nothing like being 35 and finding out what your parents really think about you.
That you're dumb.
I'm a dumbass.
My smart daughter.
I love that.
Kelty?
Wow. And she probably just bit her tongue after that. She was like, oh, lost that guy's business.
No, of course not. It was very funny. I appreciated it so much because my dad is a quack. He's crazy. Not a quack, but like he's an eccentric guy and he says really inappropriate things all the time. So, you know,
I love your dad.
Can't blame Mallory.
Can't blame Mallory.
Not Mallory's fault. All right. Good week. So as you guys know, a few months ago, I announced on the podcast that baby Kelty existed. I recently got a DM from someone who I had taught dance to at the Showstopper dance competition about 15 years ago. and she said, "Hi, Kelty. I know you won't remember me, but I just want to let you know that you taught me jazz dance at Showstoppers. And I remember meeting you that day. It was one of my favorite dance classes I've ever taken, blah, 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 of course." And she said, "I always loved the name Kelty, and I have always thought about you. And I just want to let you know, I just had my first baby."
No.
And
Not
I
another.
named it Kelty.
Can't be.
So now there's two.
Not another baby.
2 babies have been named after me this year alone. If that's not
Wow.
influential, I don't know what is. And this baby Kelty is equally as cute, so adorable.
Did you see a
And-
pic?
Yep, sent me a picture.
Is it a boy?
It's a rude. It's a girl. She's very cute, and everything's great.
Baby Kelty.
Baby
Wow.
Kelty.
Times 2. There's 2 of them out there.
Okay. And then once I'm feeling good about myself, the world will just knock me right back down. So bad week. I have been trying to figure out what to do with my floors, as you know, on Instagram, which is riveting for everyone. And I thought for a minute that I might do a carpet or a tile. So I was in this store on Ventura Boulevard that was right by the house. I just drove down and was like, "Oh, it looks like you sell carpets." So I was just checking it out. And I kind of just was in my sweats or whatever. So I'm looking through the carpet, and this nice guy's helping me, and he's like, "Oh, this, a lot of people like this, and it's good." I was getting prices, and he stops and he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, is that Paula Abdul in your shirt?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is." And I felt so cool, and because I had my little Paula Abdul shirt and I cropped it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's Paula." And I was expecting him to be like, "Oh, cool." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I think my mom likes her."
Ouch.
Wow.
Ow.
Ouch. The
Feeling my
Yowza.
age. It was like my parents when they used to listen to the Eagles, and I'd be like, "Oh, my parents likes the Eagles," and everyone from that generation was like, "Ah." So I
What a
felt.
bummer.
Also, he's not wrong. I mean, how old was he?
I have no idea, but I mean,
I mean-
how young is the mom? I'm pretty young.
How young and hip must his mom be?
His mom must be so hip. He's like, "Is that Paula Abdul on your shirt?"
Paula's
yeah,
been
my
around
mom.
for a long time. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
so she could. How old's Paula? 60 something?
Yeah, I think. I mean, she's
Um,
ageless in my eyes, but
She
yeah.
is ageless. She was doing a TikTok dance the other day on my Instagram search page, and she was working it.
How angry are you that no one has asked me to do the dance with Paula? She has all these influencers, and no one's
What, that are all
"Why are you guys
dancing?
guilty to do a straight up now tell me TikTok." But anyway, live your life, Paula. I'm just
So she's doing that song with a bunch of different celebrities
Mhm.
on her TikTok.
Oh, that must have been what I saw.
Rude. One
Anyway.
day, Kelty. One day.
All right. Well, coming up, we have our friend Chrishell is here, back by popular demand.
Whoop, whoop. Texas ladies, listen up. It's Becca, the new Texas lady amongst the Lady Gang. There is a live show coming to my new hometown of Austin, Texas. That's right. Lady Gang is coming to Austin, the Paramount Theater, on Saturday, November 6th at 7 p.m. Doors are at 7, show is at 8. Again, November 6th. If you're in Austin, if you're around Austin, come join us. We're going to have a blast. I want to make new friends in the city. That's right. You heard it here first. I want to make new friends. And the tickets are affordable. $35. We're sold out of VIP right now, but you can still get your tickets at theladygang.com for all the information. See you on November 6th.
So, we love Hyundai and have been working with them for months. And then I went out and got the Hyundai Kona, but I'm here today to tell you about the Tucson. The Tucson is a little bit bigger. It comes in the gas version. My Kona is, of course, the all electric version. Every inch of this SUV has been reimagined. It has so many innovations, and I want to tell you about 2 that I love so much. Number 1, the cooling seats. I've never had a car that had an air conditioned seat before. It is game changer for your lower back, butt sweat in the summer. In freaking incredible. And also the safety features. When you're changing lanes, it has this lane assist where it will tell you if something's in your blind spot. It's a real game changer, you guys. I feel so safe in my Hyundai, and I just love it so much. So go check out the new Hyundai Tucson and learn more at Hyundai.com. Love you, Hyundai. I love my car.
So at this moment, I am sporting a pair of gold hoops that I have found to be my favorite hoops I've ever had. They're the perfect size for everyday and all-day activities, and they are Tiny Luxe, our sponsor. So women wear jewelry to feel confident, stylish, unique, and powerful, and Tiny Luxe believes everyone should be able to enjoy that experience without pain. That's why Tiny Luxe has spent the last 3 years making earrings that actually work for people with sensitive ears and metal allergies. I am one of those people with sensitive ears. I've had these earrings on and haven't taken them off off for weeks. I'm obsessed. They're different from other hypoallergenic jewelry because they're made from pure titanium. It's a metal that's trusted by the medical community because it is non-reactive with the human body. Plus, all their jewelry is water resistant. It can be worn in the shower, beach, gym, etc. I've been wearing mine to the lake this entire week and nothing has happened to them. They're super lightweight and affordable. They launched a new updated website. I want you to check them out at tinylux.com, see their new site, and take 20% off with code LadyGang. That's tinylux.com, tinilux.com, code LadyGang for 20% off the order. Enjoy.
Okay, so I just looked in my underwear drawer because I wanted to see what percentage of my stuff is now Third Love. And I think that I'm like at 85% because I'm obsessed with this brand. They've been with us since the beginning of LadyGang, and their bras and underwear are so freaking comfortable. So Third Love is your go-to destination for comfortable and quality everyday essentials. You can get the level of fit and comfort you deserve with Third Love bras, underwear, sleep, and loungewear. So they have this beautiful new feather lace collection, but my favorite bra of all time is their 24/7 classic t-shirt bra. You barely feel like you're wearing it. They have it in a bunch of really cute colors, and it is so freaking cute. And if you don't feel like getting dressed in the morning, you know we love like a comfy clothes. Now you don't have to. Meet the Third Love lounge and sleepwear, from lazy Sundays on the couch to weekend outings. They're designed with premium cotton fabrics available in drapey easy fits from extra small to 3X. So you deserve some TLC. That's Third Love comfort. Go to thirdlove.com/LadyGang and get 20% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/LadyGang for 20% off today.
Now back to the Lady Gang.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Our guest today is back on LadyGang, and wow, has a lot changed. Like a sexy phoenix rising from the ashes, this soap opera starlet, having starred on Days, All My Children, and Young and the Restless, became America's goddamn sweetheart when her own life became more dramatic than a daytime soap. The star of the biggest new reality show on the planet, Selling Sunset, beautiful queen with some ugly non-pointed toes on Dancing with the Stars, and a woman who legit showed me a house in January that I was thinking of buying, with over 2 million fans on Instagram and 3 longtime fans here at the LadyGang. Please welcome to the show, back to the show, Chrishell Stause.
Wait, what was the toe comment?
Hi. Can you just write every intro from now on for me?
Everyone knows that Chrishell, like, you know, we always say on LadyGang that God is fair, right? And so it's like, Chrishell, so fucking beautiful. Like that face, the hair that I think is mostly all natural, like her legs, her butt, like everything. So nice, so talented, like hottest thing since sliced bread in Hollywood. And then gets on Dancing with the Stars. She got the hottest partner, and then out come the feet. And she had to work on them so hard because that first dance, it was like a little sickled, like little like, you know,
missing a chromosome or something. Yeah, in the feet department, something.
Yeah.
There,
and I was like, you know what? Thank God. Because if you had come out with some like ballerina arch, I would have been like, you know what? I've had enough of her. I got to let her go. But
I think my foot does the opposite. I think it curves down.
You were so great. And like,
you are so great.
What a crazy time. Like when we had you, we were in the studio in Beverly Hills. And you were like kind of doing the rounds and auditioning. And I mean, your life has changed dramatically. How has it been I assume this is like kind of the fame, stardom, success that you always dreamed for yourself. And now you have it all, but you have like almost too much.
I know it does get a little crazy. You have to take the pros with the cons, obviously. You know, it's not all great stuff, but of course the stuff that's great is so great that you can't complain. So you know how it goes. So it's one of those, you know, I just kind of feel like I'm lucky that I had such a slow start into the business so that by the time it really hit a boom, I felt like I was prepared as much as you could be to just know that, you know, all of that stuff doesn't change who you are in a room, although it will change how you're treated in room to room, depending, you know, but I've been doing it long enough to understand that like one day you're in, one day you're out, and you need to know who you are, whatever room you're in, whatever, you know, whatever part of the roller coaster you're on. So I am happy that it kind of went the way that it did, because when this kind of stuff happens and you have no sense of, you know, I've actually seen it. You know, with some of the people, you know, that I watched the same thing happen to and hadn't had anything before this, wildly, you know, treat certain people differently and think that they're bigger than the show. And, you know, just things like that, where it's like, okay, everyone needs to realize nobody's bigger than the show. Be happy you're here. Be grateful you're here. And hopefully if you act like that, you'll keep working and keep being successful. And if you act like an asshole,
Yes.
I personally hope those people's days are numbered.
Yeah.
Like, come on, we're all adults. Like, don't act like that.
So, I mean, segue of all segues, you're filming the show right now.
Yes.
I see your outfits. The first question I have is, where did you get that jean dress you were wearing? It was so good.
I don't know.
Thank you. That's, I hope I'm saying this right. Retrofete?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
They
Yeah.
make cute stuff.
So cute.
Yeah.
So what is it like to be back? Because you guys are really back for the first time since the mega success.
What's it like? It's interesting to be back. I think for the most part, everyone's excited. Of course, nobody could have imagined the show became such a success that it did. But that being said, it kind of, it just,
Yes,
for the
read
most
between
part,
the
I will say that
lines.
it's been really great.
So what she's saying, everyone, is
There's some assholes in the
storylines.
cast. Yeah. There's some assholes in the cast. We won't get into that.
So I think it was TMZ that I watched where Harvey Levin said that you are the most eligible bachelor in Hollywood. This is what he said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it TMZ?
I can't believe
It was
that,
Harvey. Yes, he was like,
basically like, this is the hottest girl available to anyone.
Okay. Well, first of all, that's insane. But I was so flattered.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been a little like proud to have been on TMZ. It's always like slightly embarrassing. It's like always something where you're like, oh my God. That was the first time where I was like, oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. He was like, she should date Brad Pitt. Didn't he say you should be Brad?
One of them did, which is obviously a terrible idea, but it would never happen in any,
I mean, not with that attitude, Chrishell. If you have the opportunity, I feel like you should maybe take one for the team, even on a short amount of time.
Oh my gosh. Well, listen, I would definitely take one for the team, but you
look
saw
25, so you're fine.
You guys, I'm 39, so let's remember.
Okay, but he's like, and he's like 60.
Benjamin Button.
Okay, he'd be so lucky. So
he's so
what?
lucky to have TMZ's most eligible bachelorette. No, but who do you? Okay, so just like put it out there in the world. Like, I know you're getting hit up to date in your DMs.
Everyone.
Like, everyone is like, hey girl, hey. Like, who is not hitting you up that you are like, I'm interested?
Well, I'll tell you in
'Cause you
general,
look young.
I don't know what the deal is, but so many young men keep hitting on me, and I don't know if it's, but it's so weird. So the ones that have really like gone out of their way to really pursue me and ask me out and all this stuff, they're always so young. And I would like to be hit on by more older men.
Great.
I think this is amazing because I'm also 39 and I can confirm that I go out all the time without my wedding ring and no young men hit on me. So something is definitely up here. No, but you're looking for a forever love. So you don't want like a 25-year-old boy. We get it.
No, I don't. I get it if that's what somebody else is looking for. It's just not the phase I'm in. I'm so happy with what I have that I'd rather be by myself, like doing all, I don't need the headaches of anything. So if I'm going to even put thought
have you had
into
anybody,
that,
any
in my head, they
interesting
need
people
to be
slide
like my
into your
age or
DMs?
older. I have, it's always very flattering, but I for the most part don't really respond or answer, but I'm always, there have been a couple times where I'm like, it's still such a compliment, for sure.
Are you at the place, and you can totally ignore this question if you're not wanting to answer, but I'm just curious because we have a lot of girls who write in who are feeling a lot of shame around their divorce or failed relationships or don't see any light after the darkness. They're in the middle of it. So we watched you go through the darkness essentially, and it seems like you've come out the other side stronger, more vibrant, more joyful. Like, can you say that that's genuine and that you are grateful for that experience?
That is 1,000% genuine. I feel like when you're so in it, you have lost perception of things, and you're so jumbled in your own brain, and really taking the time to unravel all of that and to find your feet again and to figure out, and then, a lot of times when you're in the wrong relationship, it can be a blessing blocker, and to kind of move that energy out of the way and really, just kind of work on being your best self and not needing to fill a void. And then you start to see all of the things that come into your life that serve you. And that, and so, at the time I didn't realize that I was even in a bad situation at one point. And then you got to see me go through a situation where, it was that was the worst time in my life. And so it was definitely, I couldn't have even imagined where I would be a year later, and just like kind of where my life is now. And now what I will accept for myself and just the standards that I have. It's just, if anybody is in that space now, I love connecting with women on that issue where it's like, everything really does happen for a reason. I really believe that. And I also think, if you're putting that time and space into healing yourself, which is really important, then there's no doubt you will end up coming out better, because of course you will, it's one of those things where you have to get your mind into a place where you accept more for yourself. And a lot of times as women, we're in such a pleasing position and making something work that wasn't serving you for yourself, that by the time you get out of that, you're now aware of what you need for yourself. And it's not about just like pleasing someone else. And it's about finding what complements you and making you happy and not filling a void or, fixing somebody or, that kind of a thing.
I love that you said a blessing blocker.
I literally,
it's so
Becca,
true.
I'm literally sitting here being like, don't forget to say blessing blocker.
It's so
this
true.
is a game-changing phrase and probably the title of your next book.
I love that.
But this is amazing because you have what you think you want and you don't realize it's suffocating you in some way. And it can be, you're at the bad job, you're in a bad relationship, you have family shit going on, like your health shit's going on. Like it's blocking the blessings that when you open yourself up and get rid of that thing gets pushed out of the way, then it all falls into place. And you're like the testament of that.
Yeah. Something that I really love seeing you do is if something comes out in the tabloids or some Instagram bullshit or a rumor about you comes out that's not accurate, you take to your own personal social media to just say, hey, here's the truth. Yeah. And I think it's so amazing to be able to control the narrative the way you do. And it doesn't come across as catty or petty.
Right.
Because sometimes people do that and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel genuine. It feels like you're kind of trying to like contrive or manipulate something. But for you, it's like, no, I just laugh at the tabloids every time they do a story on you because you're like the first person to fact check it. And it's just so good.
Well, thank you. I think it happened because, I think I am such a weird mix of somebody that's like, had a taste of the industry, but now I'm in, reality television. So it's like such an interesting mix where, it could have been gone either way, but at least for what worked for me, I was like, this isn't okay. You can't just like make this stuff up or use sources say. And so I just love that I'm able to use my own channel in that way because I think I went through a phase where I didn't do that and it felt very suffocating and it felt like people think this and that's not true. And, I unfortunately have that personality. I know Kelty and I are kind of the same with, I wish I didn't care what people thought. I think we talked about this once before together. And it's like, I really admire those people that truly can be, more like Jack or whatever, where it's like, I don't know, like you guys, I feel like you guys are just, I look up and admire the people that I feel like truly can just be like, I don't give a shit. I am adopting it as much as I can. But that being said, that's what it came down to, where it was like, you know what? I don't care what happens. I'm going to say it. And it just got to that point. And then over time, it's like, it's kind of worked for me. So it's nice.
I feel like it kind of goes back to you, like when you're talking about how you've kind of been in this world for a while and you've grown such a sense of self. So there's so much knowing who you are at your core. So you can, go on Instagram and be like, here's the facts and this is how I am without it feeling like you're trying to prove something or you're trying to like spin a narrative a certain way. It's kind of just like, it is what it is. And I'm confident in saying that because I have a sense of self-worth and I know who I am. So that's how it comes across, I think, to people watching it.
Can we also agree and just tell everybody who reads tabloids that a source is a publicist who works for the person.
Or it's like the person.
Sometimes it's the person.
It's camp. It's the camp of the person. It's not like a fucking housekeeper. Okay. It's the fucking person or their publicist.
I know, because then it would be like, how come there's so many of these like horrible backstabbing best friends out there? It's like, no, it's the person.
There are some bad friends out there too. I will say there's some real shitty friends, but I wanted to.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Well, I was just going to say, sometimes they try and bully you into making a comment because they're like, we're going to run this story. Do you want to respond? And so that's what happened is like, I'm not going to respond. I'm going to wait and see what they run. And then I'll be able to go on my own channel and say what the truth is. Because you don't know if they're telling the truth or not. Like, do they really have that story? Or are they just trying to bait you into saying something?
Right. You're a smart girl.
I know.
Blessings.
She's no dummy.
Well, the last thing I wanted to ask before we move on to Ask the Lady Gang is I thought this was a really interesting sort of parallel between you and Becca. So when we first started the podcast, Becca obviously was acting full time, and it was like kind of a side, like an odd choice. I think everyone, you will say, Becca, like everyone in your life and all of your peers in the acting world were like, a podcast? Really? Like, ugh. And now Becca has a brand new, which we're so excited about, Disney Plus series coming out. So it's like, it has helped.
And now all the people that I worked with have podcasts. So
I'll look who's here first.
I won't name names.
Right. And then Chrishell, a very interesting thing for you. Like, of course, you have been acting. You've been on so many shows. You were beloved in that community of actresses. And then you went and did reality. And I think a lot of people are like, really? A reality? She thinks it's going to help her acting career. And then, by the way, yeah. So I think there's a parallel of you both taking like major risks and it turning out to actually really help your career in a way that you couldn't have expected.
And I think it goes to what you just said about knowing who you are, because if you were going to take that criticism personally, you know, I wouldn't have been able to make that choice. If I let those, you know, naysayers kind of get in my head, even when I went to get my real estate license, I got a lot of shit for that from other actors, like thinking that meant I gave up or something. And, you know, and then again with the jump to reality. So I feel like it's like, if you really know who you are and if you're not paying my bills, you know, you can kind of, you know, make those decisions and be happy with, you know, again, like if you're the one paying your bills, then I don't really care what other people are saying. You know, I do, like you were saying, I do care when it comes to like, when your character gets misconstrued. That's when I feel the need to go on my own channel and clear something up. But as far as like how, you know, what outlet I'm going to use to, you know, keep the lights on and live my best life, please do not tell me which way to do it if you're not the one writing the check. So
that's like RuPaul's mom. She said, pay those bees. What is it? If they ain't paying your bills, pay those bees no mind.
That's right.
It's so true.
Amen.
But you could have never imagined, like when you were even shooting the first season of Selling Sunset, like you couldn't imagine, like there's so many reality shows that go out into the world. Like you just happen to be on the juggernaut of.
And didn't it not get like massive until the second season?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think of the first season, you know, it was like, I think it did well for what they thought, but it certainly wasn't anything like what it ended up turning into, kind of like water cooler talk. So yeah, I think it was just one of those things in my head. I was like, okay, well, realtors pay for advertising to build their business. They buy those, you know, benches and stuff like that. So I was thinking like, it could be a good opportunity to just get free advertising to build a business that's like, okay, acting can't, you know, sustain me for my whole life. What's a good backup, you know, thing? So I was just thinking business wise, like, okay, this could be good, you know, where I don't have to pay, you know, to get in advertising of my business. So it ended up just kind of rolling. And then of course what it turned into is crazy.
So crazy.
Well, it's
genius.
Super nuts because I remember during COVID, Chrishell, I'm sure that you don't even have time other than like a few select listings, even have time in your life to like be doing real estate full time anymore. But she was doing it up until like 3 days before Dancing with the Stars, because I remember that I went and saw, you listed a house on your Instagram and I was like, wait, I love this house. I was like, is this real? Can I come see? And you're like, sure, I'm doing an open house. And I was like, okay. So we like roll down. And then all these rumors were going around that Chrishell was doing Dancing with the Stars. So she's like showing me where the LadyGang office. She's like, this would be the office. And I was like, hey girl, you do know from the Stars. Like we couldn't tell anyone. It was like 4 days before it was announced, but it was like, you're still doing the hustle. Like, that's what I love about you. And you're like, we are going to sell this house today.
I will never stop hustling. You guys, even when we're not filming stuff, like I'll have people that want to do real estate, but they don't want to film. I'm not going to give up that listing. I'm still going to do it. So it's just in my blood. Like I'm always like hustling.
Can I ask one more question? Just one more. Sorry. I was so excited that you were talking about freezing your eggs during Dancing with the Stars. How was that experience?
Yeah, it was crazy because I was actually completely in it when they, asked me to do the show, and I didn't want to stop in the middle of a round. So it wasn't ideal timing. I remember having to put on really tight gold sequins, and it just felt like I had a basketball under my skin at the time. Mm-hmm. So I like to blame my shitty tango on all the shots
on bloating,
but I don't think it can take all the credit for I think the feet we were talking about was a lot of the problem too. But I actually am so happy that I did that. It feels like there's a weight, off of my shoulders a little bit, because, my career is the best it's ever been, but obviously, I only have so much time with that. And so I just don't want that stress, because otherwise I'm really happy. And of course I would love if that works out. So I just like that I have some eggs in the freezer and, hopefully they'll work if I need them one day.
They will. Medicine is getting very, very good. So
yeah,
we're happy for you.
No, it's awesome. And it's awesome that you shared that too, because I think people feel just like embarrassed, or it's like this, like, oh, we don't want to talk about it. And you were like, I'm going to tango and also do fertility treatment.
But at 90 I need to give myself a shot.
Well, I think it's because of the pressure we put on ourselves as women. It's like, does that mean I failed at something? Does that mean, it's the same thing you mentioned before, like a divorce? It feels like a personal failure. With the children, and eggs. And it's just like, we have to, I think talking about it, I love that something that's come from, the pandemic. It's just like a little more transparency where you end up bonding with people. You don't feel like you have to go through stuff alone. And it's actually just way more refreshing to just kind of be like, yeah, this is, I'm not this person that's like, oh, I have it all. I'll be the first person to say I'm trying to figure it out. And because I don't have it all, I'm trying to do everything I can, to help me out, if that gets to happen one
day. Yay. All right. Chrishell's going to fix your life when we come back.
So I was at the lake with a bunch of my girlfriends this past week, and they saw me working out outside my bedroom, and they were all very jealous that I was able to do my favorite workout from anywhere with no equipment or little equipment. They all joined in on a sculpt class, and I told them 28 minutes is all I've been doing to work out, and it is so efficient and effective. I love it so much. It's basically a streaming platform that offers daily live classes and more than 6,000 on-demand classes. So the Obey sculpt classes, strength, HIIT, yoga, Pilates, and bar, and so much more are the very best. They not only deliver a variety of content you crave, but the results you want to see. So when you join Obey, you'll also join an amazing community of instructors and other members who are also there to cheer you on. It's seriously such a positive environment. I love these teachers, and it's so much fun. So start your free trial today at obeyfitness.com and use code LadyGang to get 1 month free. Again, obeyfitness.com, code LadyGang to get your month free. Enjoy. Happy sweating.
You know how much we love Nutrafol here at the Lady Gang. Nutrafol is one of my secret ingredients to all this hair growth. I take 4 every single night before I go to bed. It's super easy to do. And I really believe that having a great outer hair care regimen is very important, but what's on the inside really matters too. In this modern day, it's very difficult to get all of the right seeds and nutrients inside of you that stimulate hair growth. Now, warning, your hair is going to grow like crazy, but all of your hair is going to grow. And I feel like this is a fair trade-off that I have more toe hair because the hair on my head is thicker. I feel like it's growing in healthier where it can take the wear and tear of my daily life better. I mean, everyone talks about it. You know my hair. It looks amazing. So you can grow thicker, healthier hair and support the Lady Gang by going to Nutrafol.com and entering your promo code LADY to save $15 off your first month subscription. It's the best offer that's available anywhere, plus free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com, Nutrafol.com, promo code LADY.
Okay, let's talk about waxing. It's summer, so we're doing it more often. And I've got to tell you, my favorite place for many years now is a LadyGang sponsor. It's European Wax Center. I love them so much. They have locations all over the place, so it's so easy to find them. They have the best waxers in the business, and they have a proprietary blend of the comfort wax, which means it's not as painful as normal waxing. We love them. They strive to do their best, just like us at the LadyGang, and their products are also amazing at taking care of your skin before and after your waxing. So game changer when it comes to bikini waxes. There's a reason that they do 7.5 million bikinis a year. They know what they're doing. European Wax Center is so confident you'll love their services and products. They're offering all first-time guests their first wax free. Visit waxcenter.com to book your reservation today. Check out their new line of products. And remember, your first wax is free. Don't miss out on this. They are seriously the best waxers in the biz.
Hey, ladies! Get funky. Ask the LadyGang.
Okay, and we're back. So for this part of our podcast, you've done it before, Ask the LadyGang, where we answer our listeners' questions about love and life and everything in between. So we want our ladies to write in questions, asktheladygang@gmail.com. We're going to do our first question. Yeah, submit your questions. So our first question doesn't have an alias. So Anonymous says, I'm 26 and just got out of a 4-year relationship. I started seeing this guy, and the first time we met, we made out in his car like teenagers. I love it. For 3 hours. Ooh. He was talking dirty to me the whole time, and he told me how he has a high sex drive and how he would have sex twice a day if he could. Is that normal? Do I keep seeing him and enjoy the sex that I do, or do I run the other direction as fast as I can? I thought about when Becca dated that sex addict, and I wanted to ask if she regretted it. Help. Becca?
No regrets. No regrets. I mean,
how many times a day?
Several. But like, we were in our 20s. I feel like people in their 20s, they, no matter who they are, they're having lots of sex like that. But
yeah.
He may not be your forever person, and you're 26. So like, you don't need your forever person. I think have a good time, have fun. And you're going to know if it gets to be too much. And if it does, then it's like, this was an amazing ride, pun intended, and goodbye.
Yeah. I mean, if the sex is good and you're having a good time, you might as well do it until you don't feel like having sex anymore. After a
4-year-long relationship, you should enjoy all the sex. Don't think too much about it. Just do you.
Do you remember when you were young and used to make out in a car for like hours? Like you never got, none of the clothes came off.
It's not just about being young. It's just about being single.
Right. Or like
I was having this conversation about PDA and about how PDA is nobody ever wants to see any PDA. I never want to see a makeout unless it's with a stranger. Like if one of my friends starts making out with a stranger, I'm like, yes, now the vibe has been raised and it's a great night, but do not make out with your boyfriend.
Oh, a stranger.
You know?
Chrishell, do you have thoughts? Sorry,
she's dying.
Gaslighted you.
I guess I get the point. That would be a little more exciting, but I mean, it doesn't ever bother me if people make out in front of me. I'm like, oh, go get get it on. I don't know.
But you're also a former soap star. So like people making out was like a daily occurrence for you. So you're probably like a little bit numb to it.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's just a Tuesday. It's fine.
Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Our second question comes from Introverted Loner. She says, I'm having a hard time making my own friends. I have about 2 good friends and a handful of acquaintances, but I feel like I'm missing out on real long-lasting friendships. I'm 23 and work in a corporate environment where I am the youngest employee by 15 years. My boyfriend is also the opposite of me. He makes friends with anybody and people flock to him in a social setting, and he has so many meaningful friendships. I think his popularity puts pressure on me. So what are some ways to make new friends without seeming desperate?
What's your at? Let's just all go friend her right now.
She have it listed.
She listed herself as introverted loner.
Oh, that's all we know.
I'll say that I was recently DMing with an author that I like, and we just started chatting because I posted her book, and then we started chatting, and then we moved it to text, and then I said, I've just gotten in the thing of just looking at it like another adult woman, and I say, can we be friends in real life?
That's actually cute.
And then she's like, yeah, I'll be friends with you in real life. And then when I was at Miss Universe, I was with this woman, Tatiana, and like we just really got along. And after the week was over, I just turned her on the last day. I was like, can we be friends in real life? Will you come see me in LA? And she was like, sure. And so we exchanged phone numbers and now we're friends. So maybe use my line.
It's cute.
I feel like that's going to be a hard one, though, for an introvert, because that's such an extroverted thing to say. It's very cute and it's very Kelty, but I feel like maybe if you were giving an introvert that idea, maybe if she would say something like, I'm going to have, maybe if she has drinks with her boyfriend, you're like, oh, I'm going to have some people over if you want to come, something a little more casual, something where you're inviting someone to enter into your world a little bit. I don't know.
That's nice. That's a good idea. And it helps that she's in a relationship and he's super friendly. So you can kind of just invite her along on social stuff and use your social boyfriend and all his friends as buffers for non-awkward female friendship.
I also think if you have 2 or 3 good friends, then that's more than a lot of people do. And that's honestly all you need. I know it's like really hard to look on social media or like if you're looking on whatever and people look like they have a million friends. But if you have like a couple people that you can rely on and really trust with your life, then you literally don't need any more than that. It's just filler.
I have a question about Selling Sunset. So clearly everybody's not like the best of friends all the time. And there's people who you're closer with. And I was watching Housewives last night and I was wondering like, because at a certain point in your life as a woman, you're like cut the fat and the toxicity needs to just be eliminated, but you're not able to eliminate the toxicity because it's your job to be dealing in it. So like, how do you manage to engage in all that and keep your sanity?
I think I've kind of gone through different tactics at one point, it really was like, cut the toxicity. And I was like, I won't, I'm not working with them anymore. Figure it out. Like, this is crazy. This has gone to another level. And then, we're to the point where it hurts the show and it hurts like the actual. So at this point, I'm trying to get to where I see the bigger picture and the good of, and obviously you hope everyone can get to that point where it's like, it can be very understood you don't get along with someone at work or something like that. But if you can both understand the greater good of just being able to come to work without the drama and the anxiety, because I hate the anxiety that comes along with having to walk into a space where there's that kind of hatred or, negativity. So I think it's just, unfortunately, like, in real life, I would just never see that person again. I would cut them out and be so easy. I don't deal with people that I don't, that I can't get along with and normally could get along with anyone. This has given me a special obstacle because it's unlike anything I'd ever dealt with before. And so I think because of the show, it doesn't, unfortunately, it just doesn't work as well if you don't have to address it at times and if you don't have to kind of hit it head on. So I think it's actually harkening back to what you guys said before. Know who you are in those moments. Don't, you kind of just have to stand in the uncomfortability and know, what you stand for, what you won't. And, at the end of the day, if you end up saying or doing something that's not exactly the best, it's like you're still human. And so hopefully when people watch a reality show, they understand that, you're doing the best you can. When you watch it, you'll probably be the first person to be like, okay, I could have done that better. It wasn't my best. But if we don't have those moments, it's not going to be interesting in the first place. So
yeah, it's true.
Amen. Okay. Our last question comes from Off Limits or Who Cares? She says, I've known this guy from the bar for years. When we first met, he had a very serious girlfriend and he and I were just friendly, even though a friend said, quote, you two are going to get married. There's so much chemistry and sexual tension. Now, months later, he is apparently in an open relationship. Last weekend, he and I got into a very suggestive conversation and the night ended in a casual lap dance from him to me.
A casual lap dance. Okay, this took a turn.
From his, so he did a casual lap dance on her. Do I continue to flirt for fun or do I fully friend zone him? Love a casual lap dance.
I have so many thoughts on this, and it has nothing to do with the casual lap dance. I do not believe, first of all, I'm wrong. Coming from someone scorned by someone going around and telling everyone we were in an open relationship when I was in that relationship and no one told me we were in an open relationship. I never believe a flirty
Shell's
man
face.
when he says, I'm in an open relationship. I think that's something that people say when they're in a public relationship and you know that they're taken, but they want to have sex with you. And book closed.
I'm
sure they exist. I'm sure people
unless you've talked to both people and they're in an open relationship where it's a known thing, not
three
like
of you went to
secretive...
dinner. Yes, the three of you went to dinner and they said we're in an open relationship.
That's awkward.
Like
You don't have to go to dinner.
They're not looking.
They're not
for
looking
a third.
for. Yeah, it's not that like formal.
You should write the girlfriend, and be like, "Hey, Jake told me you're in an open relationship, and I just want to make sure that's true." No, okay.
What if she doesn't know the girlfriend?
I don't know.
believe in
Sounds
any of
like
this.
see, I thought open relationship meant like they wanted to do a threesome, because I was about to say it sounds like she's about to get to know her, but that just means he can sleep with whoever he wants and she can sleep with whoever he wants.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This is not the guy from You Run, is my advice.
He's not the what?
But
The
like,
guy for her.
I mean, she could have fun if like they
Just
are.
don't catch the feels.
Yeah, and also a guy that's willing to be in an open relationship, not that there's any judgment, but it means that you also, if you end up with this guy, probably have to be open to an open relationship. So if you don't think you're capable of doing that, that's maybe think about it.
Well, still stuck on casual lap dance. Okay, Chrishell has to go. She has many jobs. You can follow her. You already are, like 2 million people at Chrishell Stause. And then you also, I Googled like 7 pages of Google and couldn't find out exactly the date. The new season of Selling Sunset is coming, but you guys haven't announced a date yet, right?
Yeah, they don't announce a date because we're actually filming it right now, and then they have to take it, lock it in, translate it to a million different languages. So as soon as they give us a date, I'll let you guys know, but we don't have one yet. But it will be coming out this fall.
Have you watched any of the other versions? Like, have you watched Spanish Chrishell and French Chrishell?
On Instagram, people will at me in stories. And so I love watching them because it's the first time I'll hear, the different languages. It's very funny what they pick for your voice sometimes.
I know.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Listen, we're so happy and thankful that you made time for us.
I love you guys.
Haven't
of
forgotten
course.
about us. It was just
Never.
so sweet when we reached out. You're like, I absolutely want to do it. So thank you so much. And congrats on everything. You really deserve it. And we are, big
We're
fans.
stoked for everything going on with your life. And no one deserves it more, truly.
I feel the
So
same
true.
way about you guys. I loved watching the show, and you guys have, like, from when I first did your show till now, it's just, I feel like we've both done so many things. So I love you girls. Anytime you let me know.
We had blessing blockers, and now we're free.
We're free.
We're free.
We
Yes. See you next Tuesday.
Thanks for listening. The Lady Gang is produced by Alex Ingber, Steve Delameter, and Jared Monaco. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. And if you love it, share it with your friends on social media. Like, oh my God, I just listened to Lady Gang. This episode's so great. Swipe up to listen. And if you really want to, which we know you do, please follow us on social. At Kelty, at Becca, at Jack Vanek, and at The Lady Gang. Sign up for our newsletter at theladygang.com and join our secret Facebook group. It's super fun. See you next Tuesday. This episode of Lady Gang was brought to you by the all-new Hyundai Tucson, the SUV reimagined from the inside out. Learn more at Hyundai.com.